Here's a brief history of taxes, from ancient times to the modern day. Ancient taxes, Mesopotamia, around 3000 BCE, one of the earliest recorded tax systems. Farmers paid grain, livestock, or labor as taxes to support temples and rulers. Ancient Egypt, taxes were collected in goods, like grain, and labor, such as conscripted work on pyramids. Tax collectors were known as scribes. Ancient China, the Chinese used a system called the head tax and land taxes, managed by local officials and emperors. Ancient Greece and Rome. Greeks taxed property and imports, exports. Romans had a more complex tax system, including land taxes, sales taxes, and taxes on slaves. Under Augustus, Rome had inheritance and customs taxes, medieval taxes, 500 to 1500s. Feudal Europe, taxes were mostly in the form of goods and services to a lord in exchange for protection. The Church also imposed a tithe, 10% of income. England's Doomsday Book, 1086, a massive survey of land and resources used to assess taxes after the Norman conquest. Peasants' revolts, for example, 1381 in England, often caused by excessive taxation, such as the unpopular poll tax. Colonial and revolutionary taxes, British colonies in America, taxes like the Stamp Act, 1765, and Tea Act, 1773, were imposed without colonial representation, leading to slogans like "No taxation without representation." American Revolution, largely fueled by anger over British taxes. The new U.S. Constitution later gave Congress the power to levy taxes. Modern tax systems, 19th century, income tax introduced in Britain, 1842, repealed and reinstated. U.S. Civil War income tax, 1861, first federal income tax, later ruled unconstitutional in 1895, 20th century, 16th Amendment, 1913, made the U.S. federal income tax permanent. Social Security taxes began in 1935, global rise of progressive taxation, higher earners pay more. Value-added tax, VAT, widely used in Europe from mid-20th century onward. 21st century and the digital era, focus on taxing digital goods and services, cryptocurrencies, and closing loopholes used by global corporations, like Google and Apple. Debates around wealth taxes, flat taxes, universal basic income funded by taxes, and taxing AI robots. Tax justice movements demand corporations and the rich pay fair